When you hear about KFC, you probably picture an old man with a white suit, black tie, mustache, and beard, the face of KFC, Colonel Harland David Sanders. And who can forget their slogan?
Finger licking good. Finger licking good. Finger licking good.
But not many know Colonel Sanders' inspiring story. Did you know he started working at age 10 and had many jobs like blacksmith, fireman, and even midwife before changing fast food forever? He faced 1,009 rejections for his franchise idea before succeeding. Using a pressure cooker, he perfected his secret fried chicken recipe. Later, he even sued KFC's new owners for $122 million. Let's explore how Colonel Sanders created his famous chicken recipe and learn more about his fascinating journey. Harland David Sanders was born on September 9, 1890, on a farm in Henryville, Indiana. His father, Wilbur David, first worked on their 80-acre farm but later became a butcher after a leg injury. His mother, Margaret Ann Dunleavy, took care of their home. Sanders was the oldest of 3 children. Sadly, his father passed away when he was just 5 years old. After that, his mother had to work hard to support the family. She peeled tomatoes at a canning factory and even sewed clothes at night for extra money. With his mother away often, Sanders took on a big responsibility. He cared for his siblings and cooked meals for them. During this time, he became very good at cooking. Little did he know, this skill would forever change his life. When he was 10, Sanders got his first job on a nearby farm. However, he was fired because he spent more time with the animals than doing his job. In 1902, Sanders' mother married a man named William Broadus, and the family moved near Indianapolis. Sanders did not get along with his stepfather. At age 12, he left school in 7th grade, saying he struggled with algebra, and began working on another farm nearby. Before he launched his renowned fried chicken recipe, Colonel Sanders faced a tumultuous journey filled with diverse jobs and personal challenges. His early years were marked by hardship and a relentless pursuit of work. At the age of 13, he left home and found himself painting horse carriages. Moving from job to job, Sanders worked on farms, earning a modest $15 a month until he turned 15. A pivotal opportunity arose when his uncle, who worked on streetcars, helped him secure a job as a conductor at just 16, despite Sanders fibbing about his age. His youthful ambition led him to enlist in the U.S. Army in 1906, where he served in Cuba for a year before receiving an honorable discharge. After leaving the military, Sanders ventured into a myriad of professions. He tried his hand at blacksmithing, firefighting, insurance and tire sales, steamboat operation, midwifery, and secretarial work. Amidst these varied roles, Sanders married Josephine King at the age of 18, and they started a family together, raising 3 children: Margaret, Harland Jr., and Mildred. Seeking stability, Sanders pursued a career in law in Little Rock for 3 years. However, his legal aspirations came to an abrupt end following a dispute with a client. Undeterred, he sought work on the railroad, only to be dismissed from that job, which strained his marriage to Josephine. The strain led to her departure with their children, leaving Sanders heartbroken. In the face of personal turmoil, Sanders nearly lost hope, but found renewed determination after a conversation with his father-in-law. His resilience would later pave the way for his entrepreneurial journey, ultimately leading to the worldwide success of his famous Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. Around 1930, at the age of 40, Colonel Sanders found himself running a Shell gas station in North Corbin, Kentucky. Travelers passing through often asked him for dining recommendations, prompting Sanders to leverage his culinary skills. He began cooking meals for customers from a small back room, converting it into a cozy diner where he served a variety of dishes including ham, steaks, string beans, hot biscuits, and notably, his now famous fried chicken. His delicious offerings quickly gained popularity among travelers. In 1935, Governor Ruby Laffoon of Kentucky bestowed upon Sanders the honorary title of Colonel. Sanders' reputation further soared when food critic Duncan Hines listed his restaurant in the prestigious Adventures in Good Eating guidebook in 1939, significantly boosting his establishment's acclaim. Despite facing setbacks such as the destruction of his Asheville motel by fire in November 1939, Sanders persevered. He rebuilt and expanded, opening a larger 140-seat restaurant where he continued to serve his beloved meals. By July 1940, at the age of 50, Sanders made a pivotal decision to refine his fried chicken recipe. Initially, his method required lengthy cooking times of 30 to 35 minutes. But inspired by emerging pressure cooker technology, he successfully reduced the cooking time to just 8 to 9 minutes. This innovation, coupled with his secret blend of 11 herbs and spices, catapulted his fried chicken to unprecedented popularity. In his personal life, Sanders experienced significant changes. He divorced his first wife, Josephine, in 1947 and married Claudia Lettington in 1949. At the age of 65, Sanders adopted a franchise model for his business, charging a fee for every chicken sold using his recipe. Despite enduring numerous rejections, Sanders finally secured his first successful franchise deal in 1952 with Pete Harmon of Southlake, Utah. Harmon coined the iconic KFC catchphrase, "It's finger-lickin' good," and his sales tripled within the first year of selling Sanders' chicken. Encouraged by this success, Sanders expanded his franchise operations, sending pre-made spice blends rather than revealing his exact recipe to franchisees. By the end of 1963, Sanders had franchised over 600 outlets across the United States and Canada. In 1964, at the age of 73, Colonel Sanders faced a pivotal decision regarding his beloved business. John Y. Brown Jr., a 29-year-old lawyer, and Jack C. Massey approached Sanders with an offer to purchase his company. Sanders, who had nurtured his business like a child, initially declined the offer. However, Brown and Massey persisted, spending weeks convincing Sanders to reconsider. Ultimately, Sanders agreed to sell his company for $2 million under one strict condition: that the recipe for his iconic fried chicken would never be altered, and that the highest standards of food quality would be maintained. John Y. Brown Jr. accepted these terms, ensuring that Sanders retained a lifetime salary of $40,000, later increased to $75,000, majority ownership of KFC's Canadian franchises, and continued to serve as the brand ambassador and advisor to the company. This agreement marked a significant transition for Colonel Sanders, allowing him to secure his legacy while entrusting the future of his culinary empire to capable hands committed to preserving his original recipe and vision. In 1971, John Y. Brown Jr. sold KFC to the food conglomerate Hubling. Unlike Brown, the new owners altered Sanders' cherished chicken recipe, believing the original was too costly and complex to prepare. They introduced a cheaper, simpler recipe. Determined to uphold his culinary standards, Sanders opened a competing restaurant named after his wife, Claudia Sanders, the Colonel's Lady Dinner House. This move led to legal troubles as the new KFC owners sued Sanders for using his name for a new restaurant. In retaliation, Sanders filed a lawsuit against them, claiming misuse of his name to sell products he did not develop. He demanded $122 million in compensation, but the case was eventually settled for $1 million. Undeterred, Sanders continued his venture under the name Claudia Sanders Dinner House, which still operates today in Shelbyville, Kentucky. On December 16, 1980, Colonel Sanders passed away from pneumonia at the age of 90 in Louisville, Kentucky, leaving behind a legacy that continues to influence the fast food industry. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories.